Hello and welcome to an announcement that's been a long time coming because we've been busy. So, I'm your host, Byrne. With me is Oren,
Well, hello.
also Kyle,
Hello.
also Squee.
My lawyer has said to inform you that if you do not untie me, there will be legal action taken.
Sorry, I can't do that. Durangel is not here and he has the key. So, let's get right into this.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's why the Super Saiyans are coming back.
No, they're not.
Oh my. Are people watching this?
Mhm. All right. Anyways, so first things first. The B2 stuff is not going to work. B2 replacement.
Very sad about that.
I am
Yes.
also very sad about that.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, Orange, you had your finger on the pulse on this. Do you want to kind of explain what's going on with that?
Yeah. So we had the idea to swap be able to swap one B2 per team. Was it?
Yeah, because
yeah.
we want to get rid of some bad B2s potentially.
And I will tell you, it is possible. We've done something similar with Sin Shenron's B2, his Blazing Storm. Last season I changed that to Nappa's. So I know it's possible, and I've seen other people do it. But for whatever reason, like for instance, I was testing on Krillin, right? Expanding Energy Wave is one of those B2s that
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's super good. But so I was trying to swap his that B2 for just like a beam B2 or a rush B2, and I just could not get it to work properly. No matter what I did all the things that I thought that I did in the past. I tried to pick up whatever I could from watching like modding videos, and nothing worked. So without someone to actually like directly teach me what to do, or if I find a solid tutorial that is in English, then I'm not going to be able to do it for the foreseeable future. And I'm sad about that because I was really excited about implementing a feature like that, as I want to say pretty much all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That could change the whole game right there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty bummed about it. I spent like, I don't know, I want to say like a combined like 5 days trying to get this to work, and it just wouldn't.
I think actually you threw even more time at that, because that was one of the things that was slowing us down, just because there were so many difficulties trying to figure it out.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I just worked on it that many days in a row recently, but it has been something much longer than that. But yeah, that was what led up to it coming to a head, where I had to basically tell everybody that I don't think it's going to work, because even if I can get it to work on other characters, what's the point if it's inconsistent and I can't get it to work on everyone?
Right.
So
yeah, and maybe you could find out who does or doesn't, but the amount of work involved and the potential payoff is diminishing returns in the extreme.
Yeah, so at least for the foreseeable future, it's
shelved.
It's yeah.
The ability to swap is shelved at the very least. If there's a character that we feel is probably hurt by their B2, we can still probably look into it. But
yeah, possibly.
Maybe
But
it wouldn't be something that you can control. It's something that we would choose, and that's it.
Yeah, that being said, if this gets uploaded and there's anyone watching this that knows how, or knows someone that knows how, feel free to get in contact with me. I don't know, just message me on the forums or something. And yeah, because if any of you know, then I would be down to hearing you out. But it's hard. It's hard to find an English tutorial, and whatever I've been able to pick up is not helping me. So yeah, I guess that's that.
But that is one of the big reasons why this is coming out so late. We've been, well, I say it's been a lot of Orange.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to find a way because we're so excited about it. But, that's one of the reasons why we're so careful about this. This is one of the reasons why we don't do things mid-season or right before season starts, because sometimes you spend a lot of time and effort on something and it doesn't pay off. This isn't the first time, certainly.
No, certainly not. I've spent a lot of time on it. It's a pretty big bummer that, nothing came of it this season. But again, it's shelved. Doesn't mean that it will never come to pass, but for now at least, it won't be a thing.
For a sense of catharsism, you can all blame KO if you like.
Yeah, I spent all the money. We're going to have people doing that for commissions of fake characters.
He doesn't have anything to do with it, but we can still blame him. No.
Damn, it's like my old job. But that actually, speaking of my old job, that kind of segues into why there's been some quiet lately. There, for example, with the trying to swap B2 moves, like we just mentioned, that took a while because it wasn't just trying to swap them. We had to figure out what B2s to swap into them, who we think would change B2s and make sure that nothing was overpowered, that kind of stuff. So there was a lot of thought process that took up time as well, instead of just the system of trying to implement it. And then real life hit basically all of us at the same time. I got a new job. Derangel got a new job.
Derangel is no longer going to be a staff member. That's something that we should probably address.
Yeah, nothing like wrong with him, of course. He's still a very good friend of ours. Just he's just
stepping down.
He has like a night shift job now, so it's just really hard for him to do anything with the league at the moment.
And on top of that, my mom went into the hospital and still has to make periodic checkups. So I have to take care of her. That has been taking up a lot of my time.
Right. So we
absolutely exhausted. So
yeah. So we do apologize for the delay and of silence, but there were a lot of reasons for it. It wasn't just us twiddling our thumbs or anything.
Yeah.
Anyone who keeps up with the MDWF knows that I mean a lot of weeks have been skipped because it's just life has been.
You mean
insanely hectic?
You mean the MDWF that you can catch on Monday nights on YouTube?
On some Monday nights.
I want my money.
Why are you actually plugging the thing that is running on something that is not running right now?
Because I want my money.
Some Monday nights. No, my company's picked up new clients, and I'm running ragged trying to fix computers from dumb people and trying to explain why trying to hold a conference call with 100 people on Skype for Business on your data plan is probably a horrible idea.
Yeah.
So that's why stuff has been pushed back and quiet. So I just wanted to.
Yeah. But all grim dark things are getting pushed back. We're not honestly, guys. We're not sure when the season is going to start. But
we're not sure. We'll make an announcement. But there are still a few things that we need to go over, and there's still
but it's
some
not all grim dark stuff.
Well,
there is some. We'll keep going. We'll keep going with the grim dark before we get to the light.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think now is a good time to bring up a good change for the next season that I think pretty much everyone has wanted. We're getting rid of healing B1s.
Yeah, we're getting rid of healing B1s. There were a few people that weren't too happy about that and still wanted choice, but at this point we would rather just get rid of them, not have to deal with them. That way pretty much everybody except for a couple of characters and not teams will have access to Eternal Life, healing, Pataras, and stuff like that. You'll have your characters that can use Kibito Secret Art now. You will have your characters that can use Secret Measures now, and it'll open up a lot more options. There will still be certain things that you won't be able to do, like for instance, along with this change, we're making it so that Super 17 won't restrict Muscle from having eternal life on the team.
Android 13.
Android 13. But he will still not be able to have eternal life on himself. Frieza, if they can transform, will still not be able to have eternal life on themselves, but you can have eternal life on the team. Same thing with Metacooler, because Metacooler no longer heals at all. And stuff like that. There's a list. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'm giving
I have
examples.
The list. I have the list right in front of me that I can just quickly go over who's losing healing.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Aureli's losing getting excited.
Mm-hmm.
Kui, Frieza Soldier, Goten, Grandpa Gohan, Kid Buu, Kid Goku, Giant Ape form, Majin Buu, Raditz Giant Ape form are all losing sleep. Metacooler, Super Buu, and Gotenks Buu are all losing rebirth. The only person that we have decided is going to keep their healing is Garlic Jr. Giant form, because two reasons. One, it heals such an insignificant amount compared to all the others. Two, he only does it in giant form, which 9 times out of 10 the teams don't start him in anyway. So
he has to work for it.
Yeah. So I figured that was we all kind of figured that one would be fine for him to keep because it's not that big of a deal. So
yeah. Healing is gone, and I know that's a little bit of a contentious issue, but I think overall it'll be healthy for team building.
Yes.
Like similar to what we did with Jiro in 19 last season.
Yeah, and I think they benefited.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just makes.
And Yajirobe.
Yeah, Yajirobe as well. He lost that healing in it.
What about the adverse of that for Ginyu?
Well, I was going to get into the whole list of.
I was thinking that's like the nega heal.
That's something we still need to address for the other
if you guys
changes,
want to get
because we made other changes. We were just going over the healing parts
because we figured that would be the good news that people would be happy for.
Yeah.
So, I do have a list of a couple other more minor changes.
Go through it.
Okay, so the first one, no specific order. Pycon's ultimate has been swapped out. This was one of the ones we could actually manage to swap out because it was so similar. It has been swapped with Dodoria's ultimate.
Yeah, it's about that size. I don't think that was one that could be swapped out, but it was scaled down.
It was scaled down.
Yeah, but it was scaled down to be Dodoria's size because, damn, that thing hit from across the map, and we didn't realize it.
The range and speed were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Game-breakingly ridiculous if correctly utilized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't always be utilized that way, but the fact that it could.
Yeah, the potential for abuse was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll affect him too badly, though.
Probably not.
No. Another change I think people will be happy about. Zarbon, Muscle Garlic, and Raccoon's grabs will do damage on the grab instead of when they hit the ground.
So there's no more of this bullshit of anti-ground maps or any of that where Ginyu only does damage when it hits something, or does the extra damage when it hits something, or Raccoon has to plant. No, you can still have grab builds with Raccoon. You can still have grab builds with Zarbon, which is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Next thing was, I just have the list in front of me. And then it
Goldo
off. It was stupid. Yes, Goldo got boosts.
Yeah,
boosted.
1 boost. His melee was boosted a little bit.
I believe he does 260 to 270 per hit now.
Roughly.
Instead of like 90.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky when it comes to melee combos, just because there can actually be a lot of variation. But every hit has been buffed by the same amount, at least for his standard combo. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that should help him, because Ginyu Force has had a lot of issues, and they needed another buff as well.
Yeah.
Self-harm does not harm his health anymore. It harms his ki.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you will not take any damage from self-harm anymore, but you will lose your ki, which is
all of it.
Yeah, all of it, which makes it so that it's harder to lose the self-harm buff.
Yeah.
Because the only way that buff goes off is if you do a super.
Right.
Which means that he'll be able to carry those stacks for a lot longer, do a lot more damage, and potentially even get those bonuses when he's body swaps.
Yes. And then, but of course, it's not a complete buff, because also when you lose your energy, you lose your ability to do your teleports and your dragon
and your
rushes,
dodging and all of that.
And you're dodging. So
Right, and plus it comes back. Health.
Right.
Yeah.
He was losing what, 3,000 health per self-harm?
About that.
It was pretty insane, yeah.
He does 3 self-harms and he's down an entire bar, and he was doing about 2 to 3 every match at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting a 10,000 health handicap, and then sometimes not even using the benefit, because then you would immediately B2 and lose all those buffs.
Mm-hmm. There's still that potential, but it'll be a lot harder.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder.
Yeah.
Actually, Zengaya.
That's one thing that I'm not sure we tested, but it might be interesting to figure out. What if he were to use self-harm while in super?
You mean max power mode?
Yeah.
Ooh.
it usually doesn't drain your ki when you do that, but that would be an interesting one.
We'll test that.
Yeah, we'll test that.
But either way, it's still better than losing 3,000 health each time.
Yeah, definitely.
He was the only character that ever lost health on a B1, so we felt it was fine fixing that. Zengaya has base defense to try to make her more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, come on, guys. She was always appealing. She was beautiful.
Yeah. Don't make me
bring
out a commission again.
Stop it. To prove this. Stop it, Kaya. Thirsty mother.
So thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's at base defense now, which we hope should help, because I think she was at -2 before. Which was
something like that.
Yeah.
It was definitely not base.
I always kind of want to talk to the game designers of this game and go, with some of these people, what were you thinking?
Yeah, it's a little silly.
I don't think they really made it balanced. They more made it fun to play.
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, you some of the characters like General Blue, yeah, sure, makes sense. But like Zengaya was one of the strongest characters in Dragon Ball Z.
You know,
considering when she came, when that movie is stationed, that was after Cell,
right?
Yeah.
You know what question I would ask? Why did you make the Barrage Death Beam so good?
I would sit there and I would just sit down and I'd stare him right in the eye and I'd go, so Trap Shooter, why 4?
So anyways, dovetailing into our next change, Kaio.
Yes, we have, as I kind of segued into there, we've nerfed the Barrage Death Beam damage just a bit.
And I can give you exact numbers.
What a coincidence. You were just talking about that.
This is both for Cell and for Frieza.
Yeah, because it's too good. It is legit too good of a B2 for 2 bars.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. But the tracking and the damage were insane. So the tracking hasn't changed. The energy cost has not changed. Just the damage.
Just the damage, yeah. So we made it do 6,000 base. I feel like that is reasonable for what is technically a barrage move.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually lower than that. And if you guys want to know how that scales with Potara's, Super plus or Super -1, start with that. It does 5,200. With Super +1, it does 6,800. And with Super +2, it does 7,400.
Right. And we feel this is good. We'll take a look during the season, of course, and
Yeah.
if we feel like it's too low, we'll look into it. But I just want to preface: this is a decision we would come on our own. I really would appreciate people not instantly saying that it's too low damage.
Yeah, this is something that we can possibly look into. Like, we tried different damages. I think if we were to bump it up, it would probably bump it up to like 6,250 or something.
Yeah,
and understand, when we say we tried different damages, we didn't just look at the number and go, yeah, that looks good. No, I mean, we tested everything.
Which, yeah. So, and all of these changes, of course, took time, and that also led to the delay.
Yeah, because anything that was, I don't know, like 6,000 was like the right spot for us that we found. Again, we'll see during the season, because testing is always, it's not going to be a 1-to-1 representation, but it's the best we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I almost forgot. We had an announcement about the Earth Defenders.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Two announcements for the Earth Defender. So I'm going to start with the little Band-Aid, and then we'll go with the big Band-Aid. So little Band-Aid rip. Earth Defenders will only be allowed to have either mid Goku or end Goku on their team. They will not be allowed to have both on their team at one time.
Yeah.
It's too strong.
Yeah, it's one of those that we're going to be completely upfront with you, because you might be like, but the Master List, no, we're with you. Master List, yeah.
Hey, man.
But guys, come on.
Tired of arguing Master List. Jesus.
No, we're already done with that.
We're done with that. I'm saying we're being completely upfront that yes, under normal circumstances it wouldn't be a problem, but you're talking about two characters. Two characters that could annihilate a team on their own.
Because please think of mid Goku, mid Vegeta, end Goku, and Yamcha on a team.
Along with Tien or Krillin.
I'm just talking about like the four that face in one.
Yeah.
No. So we wanted to stop that. The other thing, which is going to hurt a little more, I think, but needed to happen after what we saw this season. Mid Goku banned from both KSA and Secret Measures. He took some anger management courses over the off season.
Now he's chilling. Not so mad.
Yes.
Hey, I'm mad. I'm not so mad.
Well, it's more like he's still very mad, but he's also drugged. So,
I think the answer is, I think the reason is self-explanatory. It was a character that was doing way too many ultimates too quickly for way too much damage. I remember we did the math a while back, and it was just insane that all of damage was coming from these. Like, he would do fine when he didn't ult, but when he did ult, he was doing like 40k more damage a match.
Yeah.
Which
I think a lot of it has to do with this current difficulty that we're on, because in the past he has brought back games, but he hasn't brought them back in ridiculous amounts like this.
Yeah, it was not crushing slaughters.
Yeah, like last season, he practically, between him and Vegeta, specifically with Vegeta on the team as well, it was just too much. The both of them were able to solo teams, pretty much.
Yeah, it was. Earth Defenders were slowly becoming Super Saiyan level. We had to cut their tails off.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that makes them stronger or weaker, but we did it. So,
pretty sure tails don't affect the Super Saiyans.
I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully they do, actually, because that's why we got rid of those. I think that was the.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one more. 13 can use tension up now.
Yeah, 13 can use tension up. He's just banned from high tension. The reason why is it's been long enough. We're getting ready to relax a few things on his restrictions. Mainly because Muscle has been struggling.
Muscle's struggling, And the new difficulty makes it where everyone can kind of compete with him better.
Yeah.
So.
He still has some of his other restrictions, like high tension and not being able to use Eternal Life himself. But
the team can use it now.
Yeah.
Other than
the big thing is, until we decide to change the size of his B2 while in Super 13, that's not going to change. He's going to have some restrictions, and that's something I'm not sure that's the best idea to do, really.
Right.
Because like having a supernova as a B2 is real strong and really good to have. But if you were to make it smaller, I think it would take a lot of his identity away.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like it's something we view as kind of like a last resort. We generally want to do modding changes only if we feel we really need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be size. It can be speed. It can be both. But, you know, if we don't have to change him, that's usually the option that we're going to opt for. Yeah.
But the less mods we make, the less chance something breaks.
Yeah.
True. Which is my motto going through changes.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
I think now that was everything for those types of like little blink and you miss it type buffs and nerfs.
Yeah. On to the next thing. So Ko-fi, eh? Yeah, we're making a Ko-fi. And with your dollary dues, we'll be able to kill the Super Saiyans for once and for
all. Yes.
Yes. No.
Maybe we should start it like this. We need to spread the word, guys. The league has been here for almost 10 years. It's pretty insane how long it's been around for. And as time goes on, and as we refine the league to where we get it right where we kind of want it, it's undeniable that at the moment we are struggling for participants. And we've put out several calls for participants, and there's still teams that have no one or one person, or they struggle to just make a team work.
Yeah.
And the only way to fix this, because I think everyone watching this will agree, it's a really cool idea and it's really fun. And if people know about it, then we'll get more supporters. But the only way for people to know about it is to advertise.
Mm-hmm.
And I've put feelers out there, and there are some, I don't want to say anyone who yet, but there are some like big YouTubers that are big in the Dragon Ball Z community that are willing to advertise us. But it takes the almighty dollar. You know, No one should expect them to do it for free. I certainly don't. And I can't cover all the costs on my own or even close. So we need help. I mean, we don't want to do a Patreon. It's too easy to do a Patreon and just forget about it and end up giving way more money than you thought, or not get the rewards that you wanted. We think a much better way to do it is more like a tip jar. Look, if you have some that you can offer that you want to, let me put it this way. If you want this league to grow, if you want it to turn into everything that you hope it could be, to where your team has 10 supporters that you can bounce ideas off of and really dig your teeth into, instead of you, or you and the one other friend that admittedly do a great job, we need help. And if you have some money that you can spare to throw into that tip jar, we can advertise and get the word out there and get actual real advertising from people whose target demographic would be perfect for this. I'm talking YouTubers that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers built on Dragon Ball Z.
Would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That would bring in a big influx of people, not only to the league itself, but to the Discord, to make it more active and more fun experience for everyone.
But it's expensive. Just to give you an example, the first person I've spoken to that is shown interest, it's several $100s. So for like a month. of advertising. So this is something that is expensive, and I can cover some, but I am only a man, not a mortal man. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not rich.
You're a god. You're trying to say you're a god.
I think that's what I was trying to say. I'm no Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, so basically we need your help.
Indeed. So we will put it out there. Just keep your eyes on the Discord chat or on this. I assume we can change the description of this video as well once it's ready.
Mhm.
To do that, and just give what you can, and just one time, it's fine, or two. It's up to you, of course. We're not going to say no, but I mean, the thing with a tip jar is it doesn't have to be a commitment. It can just be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, if we do really well, of course, if we're able to get, and that's the thing, if we get more supporters that can also put more into the tip jar, then we can maybe start hiring or being able to pay for special guests, like to ask Chris Sabat to return or other voice actors, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe if we get enough cashola in the tip jar, we can actually make the Tapatalk account premium so we can get people to, give us actual support. Because right now, I'm the only admin, and I can't make people admin because we don't have Sparta's account information.
So stupid.
I mean, we're a rinky-dink operation right now, folks.
Yeah,
we have a website, which is
the problem is when it transferred from whatever we had before
Zeta boards.
Yeah, Zeta boards over to Tapatalk. Everything transferred, but everything transferred really weirdly, and I lost a lot of the permissions. I haven't been able to make people moderators or admins, and it is irritating. Like right now, I can't make the fucking miners do anything on our forums.
And that's another thing that slowed us up, because these changes happened very suddenly without warning.
Yeah.
Like, we knew they were coming, but then it happened, and we didn't expect it to be that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the last we'll say about it. We're not going to rag you guys videos in and videos out. We might put up reminders on Discord and whatnot. We might say something, but the goal here is not to antagonize people, just to get it out there so that people who can and want to help can.
Yeah. The lion's share of everything everything will go to the league. It's not going to go to our pockets or anything like that. It's just going to go towards the league. We might use it for the website. We might use it for the forums to maybe upgrade it, maybe get some support from Tapatalk so that we can make it actually moderatable.
Yeah, well, I mean, 100% of it will go to the league in some fashion, and we will be completely transparent in where it goes. We may not be able to say exactly how much we paid this person or that person, obviously, but we will be 100% transparent into where the money goes, and it will all go into website upkeep, forum upkeep, guests, and advertising. Period. Yeah, none of it's coming to us.
I'm not getting Android 18 commissions with it. I promise.
We actually made him sign a contract.
Didn't have Android 21 on there though, so that's a loophole you guys forgot.
So, anyways, moving on. Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
Yes.
There's one more thing.
Is it ripping off the Band-Aid?
Oh, this is the cast.
This is the bad part.
And I'll take it. This actually plays into what I was saying earlier. As you all know, we struggle for supporters. There's a lot of teams out there that didn't even have coach applications submitted for them, much less have supporters. I think it's not a stretch to say that for a team to truly reach its full potential, you need 5, maybe 6 supporters or a couple really good ones. But I mean, the more you have, the better, obviously. And we're stretched way too thin, to quote Billboard Baggins, too much butter over bread, etc., etc. because of this, given the number of supporters that we currently have, and the time commitments that we all have, and everything else that's going into this, and the fact that we have teams that had no coach applications submitted last time, for the next season, maybe 2, we're going to start with the season, and then we'll change it from there. We are going to be reducing the number of teams from 16 to 12. We're not sure which teams yet. We're working on that. But and a lot of you are going to be upset when you hear this, but the simple truth is it's for the best. It will allow us to take the few supporters we have and consolidate them so that you guys can actually work together and bounce ideas off each other. It will make less organization and build time for us who are badly stressed for free time. But more importantly, we are too big a thing with too few participants to really justify the 16 teams at the moment. We can tell you that we're not going to go for super popular teams. It's going to be teams that don't have a lot of supporters, or teams that basically it's going to be teams that the league will be able to look at and go, yeah, yeah. But we haven't made any final decisions yet, other than the fact that we are going to do this at least for one season. Now, here's the thing. If we get advertising money and we get advertisements and we get more supporters, and after the season we have a decent amount of people, there's no reason why we can't just bump it right back up to 16 again. We're not retiring or destroying these teams. We're putting them on hold. We can say this, whoever we choose to sideline will only be available as freelancers. They will not be put into the main rotation for exactly that reason, because next season, if things go well, they might be right back in the lineup.
Yeah, and obviously we want to go based off of like activity within the teams.
There can be a lot of things. We're still trying to work that out. The only thing we've really know for sure is that this is something that it's bad, and a lot of you are going to be upset, but it's something we need to do for so many reasons. None of you can deny that we are too many teams with too few supporters, and hopefully that will change, and we're taking steps to correct that. But until we do, and who knows, we may cut it down to 12 teams and find that this works better. I don't know. I'm not suggesting. We'll see at the end of the season how things are.
The end result of this would mean that we have a shorter season and we have a shorter playoffs as well, because we will be essentially removing, 4 weeks from the season, mm-hmm. And also, or was it? Yeah, 4 weeks from the season.
2 weeks. 4 weeks to 2 weeks, something like that.
Something like that, and another
less time.
Yeah, less time.
Yeah.
One round of the playoffs will be gone, and
correct.
Who knows? We might change some other things up, but the big thing is we're getting rid of 4 teams for now. Those teams will still be complete for now, and
they're just going to hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, they're going to the hyperbolic time chamber to train.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, like, I think the best outcome from this would be like, not everyone always watches the update videos. Not everyone watches or listens to the requests for more participants. But I think that if people saw, how the league is actually affected by this, like going into next season, they'd see, wow, we had to cut out essentially an entire division. Maybe they do really need people. And, maybe it would incentivize people to participate. That would be the best outcome.
Yeah, there is a method. The strange thing is there is a way that you can combat this in a sense. And it's not throwing angry messages at us, or at least we don't mind angry messages, tasteful. We understand that this is not going to be popular with some people, and we are here to talk to. Send us messages, be polite, and we will do our best to talk with you. But there is active things that you can do, which is spread the word. Put money in the tip jar if you can for advertisement, or if not, get the word out there, because what we need to get those teams back is more supporters, a lot more supporters.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll do some good.
Yeah, well, or we'll because honestly, the other end of that spectrum, guys, is that we could end up, even after all this, not really growing at all. And if we don't, our current size, we need to trim some. We need to trim some, as we just do. So we're going to do this for a season. We will release who we're going to do later when we've really come to that conclusion, or come to those decisions.
And this was not one that we came to lightly, by the way.
This has been something that's been talked about for a long time.
Could it be said that this is another reason why it took so long? Hey, yeah, this is another fucking... Hey, it's almost like we've been doing a lot of shit.
But I stress, they are not being, whoever they are not being retired. And like I said, their teams will go into free agency specifically because next season they may need to go right back into their teams. We don't know, but it's possible. And you guys could have a hand in that one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why one of the 4 teams being put on the thing is the Super Saiyans.
You weren't supposed to say that.
Earth Defenders, all those changes we made.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah.
I think that's it.
I think so. I think that was all we had.
Smash that like button.
Can we get 1,000 likes on this video?
Can we get 10,000 dislikes on this video?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Smash that bell. I'm hip. That's the link.
1 like equals 1 groan from me.
What about a dislike?
No. Yeah. 10,000 likes and we keep a team. No.
Oh shit.
No. Guys, it's not good news to hear. But honestly, it's sometimes we got to make hard decisions, and this is reversible in time, hopefully. But I say focus on the positives. There's still 12 teams. We can still have a fantastic season. Might even have a better season because more minds will be able to collaborate on less teams.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a start date yet. Obviously, there's still a lot that has to be hammered out before we can even figure that part out. So stay tuned, and we'll get back to you on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Have a good one. Thanks
Bye.
for tuning in.
Take care, everyone.
Adios, peeps.